Hello, I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the session view. So if you're somebody that is very used to working in the arrangement, in most DAWs, you're going to have an arrangement view. But the unique thing about Ableton Live is that it has a session view, which gives you the opportunity to jam out your ideas and perform your music live. Before I get into the video, I just want to let you know that I do stream on Twitch 3 times a week, music production, long form. And I highly recommend that you get on Twitch, as there's lots of producers on there, a great community. I'll link you to the Discord and the Twitch channel below in the description so you can check it all out. And also don't forget to download my free ebook, which is 10 steps that professional music producers use to make music faster. If you're struggling to get your tunes finished, download your free copy of the ebook and hopefully you can implement some of the tactics that I share with you in that download. So a lot of people that are used to working in the arrangement view will look at this screen and go, I've no idea how to use the session view. But actually it's really easy once you know how. So the first thing is drop files and devices here. This is where you would drop your samples and create your sounds, your audio tracks and your MIDI tracks. So I'm going to drag this drum loop and I'm just going to drop it here and it's automatically going to create a track. Now, in order to trigger this drum loop, you press play. We can see at the moment on the master channel that is maxing out in the red. So the first thing I want to show you is the mixer view. So here down the bottom, we have our pan control left and right. So we can pan our track left and right. At the moment, we want to reduce the volume of this track. So we're going to bring down the decibel slider and press play. To turn your track on and off, you just press here. And now it's off, it's playing, but no audio is coming out. You can also solo your track. And you also have record arms, so if you select that, as long as you have your recording set up, you can record into one of the empty clip slots. We go into that a little bit more in my complete Ableton Live 11 course, so if you do like my presenting style, be sure to check out the link to the course in the description. Alright, so let's have a look at building our project using samples, and we're also going to use some of Ableton's kits. At the moment, we just have one drum loop, so let's start adding a few extra things in. I'm going to add in this hi-hat or tops loop. So as you can see in the session view, I've now added in some extra clips. We've got a drum loop, tops, shuffle, pad, and one shot. In order to trigger the clip like before, you just press play. So I just pressed on the space bar to stop that, but to stop all clips, you can either press the stop button below each particular clip, or to stop the global group of clips, you come down here and press stop, and it will stop the entire session view, whatever is playing. As you can see again on the master channel, we do have some maxing. So what I'm going to do is just bring down the volume of all of these clips so that we're not maxing out in the red. And you may have noticed that we had some key clashing going on, which is to do with the pad, which is in A minor, and the one shot, which is in D sharp minor. And I know that because it says that in the file types here. So in order to switch up the key of one of those so that we get them in key, you just need to double click on the clip and it will open up in the clip view. And now you can come down to the pitch and you can start to shift your pitch into whichever key you want your track to be in. So I'm going to keep the pad in A minor and I'm going to take this one shot and bring it up to A minor. So it's D sharp at the moment. Click on pitch, use the up and down arrows on your typing keyboard, press up. So we're going to go D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So we've gone up 6 semitones. If we play them now, they should sound like they're in key with each other. So we've got all of the clips here in row 1, and we can trigger them individually and stop them individually using the channels. You can also trigger what we call a scene. So we've got each channel here, and then if you look across horizontally, you have number 1, and this is actually your scene. So if you press play, it will now play all of the tracks. And you can hear how some of the tracks are looping round, some are not, especially the shuffle in the middle. It played and then it stopped. If you double click on the track, you can see over on the left here, it says loop. So that means it's going to play round. If I turn that off and now play the tracks, you can see here that it's not playing anymore, but everything else is looping round. And if you double click on it, you can see that the ones that are looping round are set on loop. All right, so let's build our clips in the session view. In order to make this a bit more interesting, rather than just having one scene, we want to create multiple scenes so that we can start to trigger clips either individually or scene by scene. So we want to build this track. The first thing I want to have is the tops loop and maybe the pad to start with. I'm going to drag down everything else so that we just have the tops and the pad in the first scene. So that's scene 1. That's the intro to our session view performance. Now I want to copy these tracks down because I do want them to continue playing in the next scene. So you can press Control or Command and D and it's going to copy it down, or you can just press Control and drag and that will copy it down into the next scene. But we want something a little bit more different in this scene because we have the same things going on. So let's add in the one shot. I'm going to drag that up. And now we have a variation. So this is scene 1 followed by scene 2. I want everything from scene 2 to be copied down into scene 3 and then introduce another sound. So I'm going to press Control or Command and D on the clip. And now we've copied everything from scene 2 into scene 3, but we're going to add in the shuffle into scene 3. And the same goes if you hold down on Shift and select all of the clips in scene 3 and press Control or Command and D, you copy them all down into scene 4. So this is how we have our track set up at the moment from scene 1, 2 to 3 to 4. Now, at the moment, the shuffle is coming in on beat 1 of the loop, and I actually don't want that to happen. I want it to come in at the end phrase so that everything plays, and then there's a little shuffle at the end of the scene. So we're going to double click on the shuffle, we're going to activate warp and loop, and then we're going to bring our start time back, and then zoom out using the magnifying glass, and bring the loop back. So now if we play the scene, so now we have the shuffle at the end of the phrase, and that's how you can switch up your sounds so that they're not all playing exactly on beat 1 when you launch the scene. Let's add some processing and effects to the one-shot channel. So come onto your audio effects, go to delay and loop, and we're going to drag and drop the beat repeat onto our one shot. Now if you attenuate the beat repeat, cool, I like the little effects that it's got there, so let's just play this. And your scenes are going to be launched according to the global quantization. So you may have heard there that we had a bit of a jump from one scene to another. And that's because our loops in the clips didn't finish their sequence and they just jumped according to the global quantization, which if you look in the project in the top, it is set to 1 bar. Now I prefer to have it on 4 bars so that it at least does the full cycle of the scene before going to the next scene. At the moment, we've just got audio channels set up, but let's add a MIDI channel to the mix. So come over to drums and let's go with the 808 core kit, drag it and drop it onto an empty space. It will automatically create the MIDI channel with the core kit below. And then all you need to do is select a clip slot and press Shift Control and M, or Shift Command and M if you're on a Mac, and it will now create a MIDI clip in the clip slot. And you can see here down the side we have our drum kit instruments, and we can start to add in our sounds. Double clicking on the MIDI clip slots. So I've added in some extra drum hits there. I'm sure you can hear that the open hi-hat is pretty loud. So we're going to come back into our core kit and we're going to find our sound. So the hi-hat, I believe it was this one. We can start to turn the level down. And I'm also going to reduce the decay as well because it's quite open and sustained. And then you can start to add this clip to other clip slots in other scenes, the same way that you did with your audio clips. So I'm going to hold down on Control and I'm going to drag this to scene 3 and scene 4. Also, just remember that you don't actually have to trigger your scenes or your clips in the order that they come in from top to bottom. That is the beauty about session view, unlike in the arrangement view where you're committed from left to right. In the session view, you can trigger your scenes and your clips in whatever order, and you can start and stop them in whichever way you like, which just gives you the beauty of figuring out how you would like your track to sound, and you can switch it up on the fly. So let's have a go at doing that. And that is your introduction to the session view. I hope you got something out of this video, and now you can embark further on your live performance in Ableton. And don't forget, we do go into this in far more detail in my complete Ableton Live 11 course. So if you do want to master the art of Ableton Live faster than trawling through all of the YouTube videos online, please check out the course below in the description and fast track your way to making music faster. I'm Becky Saif. Thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, as it helps the YouTube algorithm and it helps the channel grow as well. I would massively appreciate your support, and I will see you for another video. Bye!